How does someone wake up with a completely different bank account than the night before? Not in a movie, not in a dream, but in real life. Some people found riches hiding in an old drawer. Others stumbled into a legal settlement or caught a wave in the stock market that changed everything overnight. These stories are real, documented, and more common than you think. This is the Money Compendium, where we explore the strange, the forgotten, and the wildly true stories of how money moves. Today we're counting down 10 real ways people got rich overnight, and the unexpected lessons hidden in each one. Number 1. The man who traded a paperclip for a house. In 2005, Canadian blogger Kyle MacDonald decided to test an idea. Could he trade one red paperclip for something slightly better and keep going until he owned a house? What started as a curiosity became a viral phenomenon. His first trade was for a pen. Then he swapped for a doorknob, then a camping stove, and eventually a recording contract. Within 14 trades and just under a year, Kyle exchanged a role in an indie movie for a 2-story house in Kipling, Saskatchewan. The key wasn't the items themselves, it was the spectacle. Media coverage amplified the story, making each item more valuable because of the growing narrative behind it. Kyle's real product was attention. His story proves that in the age of the internet, perceived value can become real wealth almost overnight, especially when the world is watching. Number 2, the woman who got rich because her luggage fell. In 2021, a Florida woman suffered a freak accident when her luggage fell onto her at an airport, causing long-term spinal injuries. She took the airport to court, claiming gross negligence. The jury agreed and awarded her more than $3.5 million in a single judgment. In one moment, a routine inconvenience turned into a financial windfall. The key takeaway isn't to hope for accidents, but to understand how systems like insurance and liability work. Many people overlook compensation they may be entitled to, especially in legal situations. When pursued correctly, these systems can deliver wealth quickly and legally. Number 3. The Bitcoin holder who forgot he was rich. Jared Kenna was one of the earliest adopters of Bitcoin, mining thousands of coins back when they were worth less than $1. Like many early users, he didn't think much of it and eventually lost access to some of his wallets. Years later, as Bitcoin surged past $10,000, then $50,000 per coin, he realized what he had. With partial access restored, Jared discovered he had become a multimillionaire, practically overnight. This story has echoes across the crypto world. Investors who forgot small holdings, only to discover they were sitting on fortunes. The lesson here isn't just about Bitcoin, but about asymmetric bets, small actions today that could grow exponentially in value without further effort. These stories also show the power of patience and luck colliding at just the right moment. Number 4. The $20 domain that sold for millions. In 1994, Chris Clark registered the domain name pizza.com for $20. He held onto it for over a decade, doing nothing with it. But in 2008, as the domain market exploded and pizza chains were expanding their digital presence, he decided to sell. The final price? $2.6 million. No business, no app, no marketing, just digital real estate. This wasn't a one-off. Domain names like voice.com, $30 million, insurance.com, $35 million, and carinsurance.com, $49 million, have all sold for massive figures. Digital property is often overlooked, but a single early registration, or lucky guess, can be all it takes to trigger an overnight payday. Number 5. The scratch-off millionaire who didn't buy the ticket. A man in New York received a birthday card from a friend with a lottery scratcher inside. A simple gag gift. He scratched it. It was a $1 million winner. That moment, standing in his kitchen with loose change and cardboard dust, changed his life. This isn't a call to gamble, but a reminder that even passive or accidental exposure to opportunity, when mixed with chance, can create instant wealth. While it's unpredictable, it also shows that small, almost meaningless gestures can sometimes carry enormous upside. We've seen viral trades, lost passwords, and chance windfalls, but it gets crazier. The next story turns memes into millions, and janitors into financial legends. Number 6. The meme stock investor, who turned 50K into $50 million. Keith Gill, also known as Roaring Kitty, became the face of the GameStop stock explosion in early 2021. He posted about the undervalued stock on Reddit and YouTube, building a small community around the idea. As interest snowballed and retail investors poured in, the stock price skyrocketed. Keith's initial $50,000 investment swelled to nearly $50 million at its peak. Though his gains fluctuated, the event changed his life and put him at the center of financial history. The real story isn't just about GameStop. It's about being early, believing in a thesis, and having the nerve to ride a wave no one else saw coming. Number 7. The Janitor, with $8 million in the bank. Ronald Reed swept floors and pumped gas for most of his life. He was frugal, quiet, and lived modestly. But when he passed away at 92, he shocked his entire town. He had amassed over $8 million in stocks and savings, and had quietly become one of the most successful individual investors in the area. His wealth wasn't visible until the day his will was read, making it feel like a sudden reveal. To those he left behind, it seemed like overnight wealth. But to Ronald, it was simply the power of compound interest and long-term investing. The lesson? If you play the long game correctly, the moment of wealth may seem instant, even if it took decades to build. Number 8. The Craigslist. Find that hit a six-figure surprise. A man browsing Craigslist stumbled upon an old beat-up dresser listed for $50. He bought it without much thought, intending to restore it or sell it. But when he opened one of the drawers, he noticed a false bottom. Hidden inside were envelopes containing jewelry, bonds, and rare coins, later appraised at over $100,000. He sold the valuables and legally kept the profit. The original owner had no idea. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a documented case that highlights the idea that value can hide in overlooked places. Whether it's garage sales, flea markets, or estate auctions, there are still hidden fortunes waiting to be discovered. The final two stories prove you don't need age, experience, or even intent to land in a life-changing deal. Sometimes saying yes at the right moment is all it takes. Number 9. The teenage app developer bought out by Yahoo. At just 15 years old, Nick D'Aloisio built an app called Summly, a news summary tool that condensed long articles into bite-sized reads. It caught the attention of major investors, including billionaire Li Ka-shing. Within 2 years, Yahoo acquired Summly for around $30 million. One moment, Nick was a student coding in his bedroom. The next, he was a millionaire entrepreneur being interviewed by tech giants. His story is a modern version of the American dream, one built on knowledge, timing, and a scalable idea. It also shows that overnight success often stems from quietly building something in the background until the world catches up. Number 10. The toy designer who said yes to Star Wars. In the 1970s, most toy companies passed on Star Wars. It was a risky bet on an unproven sci-fi film, but one toy designer at Kenner Products took a chance and signed the rights to produce Star Wars figures. When the movie became a sensation, toy sales exploded. By 1985, over 300 million Star Wars action figures had been sold. That single deal generated hundreds of millions in revenue, overnight fame in the toy industry, and a licensing legacy that continues today. It was a simple yes to a franchise no one believed in yet. Not all wealth is slow. Sometimes it arrives in a flash, hidden in junk, found in a forgotten password, or unlocked by a single good decision. The trick isn't just luck, it's being ready, knowing where to look, and staying curious enough to recognize value before the rest of the world does. If you liked this list, you'll want to see the next one, 10 people who got rich by accident, and what they teach us about wealth, chaos, and opportunity.